I'm Andre with Canadian Cycling Magazine, and today we're taking a look at the Cervélo Soloist. Some of you may remember the original Soloist, which was campaigned under Team CSC in the mid to early 2000s to plenty of stage and race victory. But this bike, even though it has an old name, is brand new and it's got some new tricks up its sleeve. This new Soloist is aimed less at the riders of Jumbo-Visma, who have their picks of the all-out aero S5 and the lightweight R5, and more for the rest of us, who still want to go fast even without a pro contract. So a bike for the rest of us, what does that mean exactly? Well, for Cervélo, that means a bike that's pretty light, pretty aero, and easy to live with. So to keep those sometimes conflicting goals in play, Cervélo had to start with a completely new design. This is a clean sheet, brand new bike from the ground up. So just how aero and lightweight is the Soloist? Cervélo aimed for a middle ground between the S5 and the R5. They try to put as much of the aero performance from the S5 into the bike while keeping as much of the lightweight and ride character from the R5 as possible. In actual numbers, the Soloist has about 190 grams more drag than the current S5, which at 30 miles per hour that they tested at, translates to roughly 22 watts difference. At the more realistic speed of the low to mid 30s that the rest of us ride at, that gap would narrow to about 10 to 15 watts. Compared to the R5 though, the Soloist is still about 126 grams of drag faster. Over the last couple of years, a new breed of bikes that mix aero and lightweight in equal measure has become popular. And Cervélo say that they have tested the Soloist against other bikes in this category and are confident the Soloist is as fast or faster aerodynamically than its competitors. The weight of the Soloist is also about halfway between the R5 and the S5. The claim weight for the Soloist frame is 919 grams, and the fork is 374 grams. That's 261 grams heavier than the R5, but still 154 grams lighter than the S5. My 48 centimeter test bike comes in at about 7.7 kilograms. Cervélo modeled the geometry and stiffness profile of the Soloist on the tour-winning R5. Stack and reach is identical once you take into account the headset cap, and bottom bracket stiffness are virtually identical. The head tube, however, is slightly stiffer. To make the Soloist easier to live with, Cervélo runs the cables outside the handlebar and the stem and into the headset top cap. From there, it goes into the frame and the fork. On the stock stem, there is a clip that keeps the cable tucked in nice and tight, which you don't see on my test bike because I had to swap in a slightly longer stem for my fit. Which is one of the nice things about this setup. I was easily able to pull just a regular stem in the right length and swap it on in the usual way. This setup will even allow a mechanical drivetrain. Down low, there's now a threaded bottom bracket. It's a T47 threaded, but in Cervélo's own BB Right flavor. Cervélos have long used asymmetric bottom brackets to try to maximize the stiffness in that crucial area. In a T47 threaded, they basically run a inboard bearing on the non-drive side and an outboard bearing setup on the drive side. Aside from this unusual quirk, it basically uses standard T47 parts, and you will be able to get replacement bottom brackets from Cervélo and its dealers. I got the Soloist from Cervélo about a week ago, and I've been able to put about 300 kilometers during that time. So this is a first impression, but it's a pretty solid one. The handling of the Soloist is definitely direct and goes exactly where you point it. If you've ridden the R5, this will feel familiar. It's a race bike. The ride is on the firmer end of the spectrum, but it's not uncomfortable for longer rides. I was able to take it out for about a 140 kilometer ride on the weekend with some gravel mixed in. And this was a lot of fun with its stock 28 mil tires, which blows up to 31 mil on the reserve wheels. If you're looking for a more upright, more comfortable all-day cruiser that has a bit more stability, then the Caledonia might be a better bet for you. But if you're after something that has sharper handling for crit racing or fast group rides, the Soloist could be just the ticket. My test bike comes with 12-speed Ultegra Di2 and Cervélo designed reserved wheels and comes in at $8,500. But you can also get a Soloist equipped with mechanical 105 at $4,250. In between that, there are Ultegra mechanical options, 105 Di2, Rival, and Force Access. The original Soloist had a pretty legendary run. It won a lot of races, but I think this new Soloist, with its blend of aero, lightweight, and easy livability, is a pretty winning formula for the rest of us. It definitely lives up to its lineage.